Okay, this is Matthew and I. We're going to be doing a little episode on how to clean shad. This is actually how to clean shad from a beginner perspective. We actually texted some of our friends, a friend Bobby Williams and a friend Daniel Foss. Also looked online and we kind of got some tips. We might make some mistakes, but so far our shad are looking pretty good. So Matthew is going to do the honors of how easy it is, but also hopefully we might make some mistakes. This is Matthew's big shad he caught yesterday in the Contentnia Creek. It weighed in at about 2.1 pounds, about 18 inches. And it's a female, so we've got some rows, some eggs to get out too. So I may have to prop up the camera a little bit in order to assist Matthew with cutting, but so far he's done a really good job. Matthew, how did it feel to...
It's a good fight. I like it a lot.
It's a good fight, isn't it? It's great to take your kids out shad fishing. I've had friends trying to get me to go out for years, and regardless, I'm glad I did it this year. It'll be something I will probably do every single year.
I agree.
They start running in January, late January sometimes, mid-January, and they'll probably run for the next 2 weeks. And shad usually go in huge schools, so when you get lucky, you get real lucky. We talked to some guys yesterday who had days of triple digits. That's over 300 fish in one day.
We got double digits. We got 15.
Well, yeah, that's right. We got double digits. We got 15. But I know one boy said he caught 300 in a day. But I think that's probably a little high. But I think 80 to 100 is not abnormal.
I agree.
So as you can see, Matthew first scaled the fish, making sure all the scales are off. We opted to do it in the kitchen sink.
It's not as messy as you think. I would have thought the scales would have gone everywhere. They don't go everywhere.
And he's doing a good job being careful with that very sharp knife that can put a damper to his school year, right, Matthew?
Yep.
And a damper to some future fishing. So we want to make sure we have all our thumbs and fingers, right?
When you're done scaling it, it is very soft.
Yeah, Matthew's a professional scaler. He's insisted on scaling all the fish. Is it done? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just check it out and see. You can rub it, no scales there.
It's very soft.
He did a good job. So the next thing we're going to do...
I mean, there's a few right there. I'll just get them.
Yeah, you go ahead and get everything. That's perfect. Good eye there, buddy.
I mean, they're shiny, so you can tell when they're there. But we don't need to cut all of them off because we're going to be cutting that part off.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the next thing Matthew's going to do, and he might need my assistance for this, is he's going to, and I'm going to actually use an old bottle to prop up the phone in a second probably, but he might need some assistance at cutting the head off. So you think you can do it? Just, okay, you're going to want to take it over here. Be careful for that thumb. That's okay. Good job. Right under the gill. Okay. And of course, we're cutting it on a granite countertop, so we don't have to worry about scratching anything up. But my wife's not home either, so we typically wouldn't be able to be cutting fish in the kitchen, would we, Matthew? You want me to help you?
No, I got it. It's just kind of thick.
It is. Why don't you do this?
I got it.
You got it? Okay. Okay, so now you're just going to take that head and you're going to put it in the trash can. Make sure not to spill a lot, okay? Then let's take this without making sure, because we're pretty sure this is a female. So we've got some roe, which are the fish eggs, to get out. And we're going to put those in a Ziploc bag.
And what we're going to do now is we're going to take the knife and we're going to scoop what we can see out.
This is Matthew's technique, but I think, you know what, it's okay. We're basically cleaning out the insides.
For now. And then, those are the fish eggs. That's what you look at. Then Daddy's going to help me with this.
Okay. So Matthew, you just hold this onto the fish, okay? Hold the phone and point it right towards the fish, okay? Now what I'm going to do is right underneath the belly, put the knife, start slicing it right down here, right, Matthew?
Yep.
That's what Mr. Daniel and Mr. Bobby said, and that's what
these
are the fish eggs.
They say
it's really good to fry up. So what we're going to do,
we're trying.
We're going to, Matthew, if you can do me a favor, well, hold on. What I'll do, I'll put this right here. I'll open up the Ziploc bag.
Here's his, okay.
I'm going to just go ahead and do another one, okay?
Okay. This is our old one.
All right.
That's a lot of fish eggs.
It is. Well, they say that's good eating to fry up, so we're going to take the word for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you'll put that over there on the side. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we got all the sides cleaned out. Clean up here a little bit. Now let me give it back to Matthew to cut it in quarters. Hold on, buddy. Transfer of the fish.
Put it back here.
Back to your knife, my friend.
I might do this in like fifths because this is a big one.
That's fine. You just do what you want to do. You just.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's
Mr. Bobby had said fourths, but I think quarters. But I think you just need to use your own judgment. Okay, whatever you think is best. Just don't
cut them too big, you know.
Just be careful for those two precious thumbs and precious fingers. Okay. All right. And Matthew's 10 years old and is really smart in school and loves to fish. And he and I are getting a small little John boat, a bass tracker that we've ordered that will be here in about 2 or 3 more weeks. We're hoping and praying. We're ready to go pick it up, aren't we, Matthew?
We are. It's really hard to cut it when it's so thick.
Do you want me to do some? Let me do some.
Okay. I'm gonna actually. Can I grab one with like serrated?
Yep. Here.
So I'm
go ahead and
gonna
give
grab
this
a
to
new one with like that.
Yep.
And then Daddy's gonna do it.
And you just point it towards me, just towards the fish. Okay.
I think it is easier with those.
Actually, I'm gonna try this right here
Okay.
again. We're gonna put this aside before we lay it over there in our wax paper. Don't put your hand there, okay? Not while I've got a knife in my hand, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Got the other one. And the tip to cooking, from what we've heard from our friends who have lived fishing on the Contentnia Creek, is basically put, a little bit of grease in your cast iron pan or your pan, or you can deep fry it from what I've heard. Get your favorite fish batter or, some type of batter to batter your fish with, probably a little bit of salt and pepper. And then to crystallize the bones, I've heard, you add a little bit of vinegar, maybe just a cap full of vinegar. It's going to pop, of course, so just be careful with the vinegar popping. And, of course, those are great tips from Daniel Foss and Bobby Williams. I appreciate their fish tips there. And then that'll help to cook it up. And I've heard it's some good eating. We're going to try it tonight. We're actually going to give some away, but
we might even film us cooking it.
We sure might. We sure might.
Then you're going to cut off the tail, just right there. And then you'll have one more chunk of meat. You see why I said fifths? I think it would have been,
Okay, Matthew, so now if you want to...
And then the next
fish
step,
over just to clean it off with just one final step to the sink, remember?
Well, there's actually one more step after this. You're just going to open it up. Well, okay, just clean it off. Like that. And then you lay it over there. And then I'm going to get another one. Because there's still a little bit of blood.
Yep.
Wash it off. Use your own judgment.
And again, this is a newbie, brand new, honestly, never truly cleaned a fish with the intentions of eating it before. I've fished a lot with Matthew over years, but we've usually been catch and release kind of fishermen, but we're going to start eating some fish too. Now that we're getting a boat, we can hopefully fish more.
And then the next step, after you clean them all off, is you're going to cut the fins off.
And that wasn't a tip given to us by a friend. That's just something Matthew wants to do. And I'm like, that's fine.
Fins
so here,
off.
here, point it towards me. And so what we'll do is we'll just do a little bit of shaving of that there. Shaving of that there. Putting that there. And then, all right, so right now, these are our shad.
We got one more to cook.
Y'all come back in a little while and we'll hopefully have some shad that we have cooked, and we'll be tasting it, and we'll kind of give you some tips on the taste of shad from an honest perspective of someone who's never tasted shad in their entire life. And also someone from who's never cleaned it nor cooked it. So this is a true newbie fish show on the adventures of Matthew and Daddy. Hope y'all enjoyed. Talk to y'all soon. Have a great one. Say bye, Matthew.
Bye.
All right. Bye, y'all.